Welcome back to Musical Midrash Project, sharing the songs of Devarim. This is the third of three sessions, and I'll be sharing, of course, the final three songs, which bring us to the conclusion of the teachings of Moses in the five books of the Torah. Before I go to the last three songs, I'll just say a little bit about where we are right now as I'm sharing these songs. We're finishing the book of Devarim. It's the holiday of Sukkot, and Simchat Torah is right around the corner. It's the conclusion of this holiday season, and it's the period when we finish the reading of the entire cycle of all 54 readings of the Torah, and we do the last one, and then we immediately go back to the beginning. So it's a big cycle. It goes around and around. So when I say I've finished a cycle, 54 songs, it just means I'm going to start over and start singing them again the next year. And so that's what I'll be doing. I'll be sharing the songs of Devarim and then launching into a weekly sharing of songs from Genesis, which I've not previously recorded. And I have shared them in presentations and workshops, but I've not recorded them. And so I'll be posting them on a schedule that is up on the musicalmidrash.com website every approximately Wednesday. I'll be finish workshopping them in the live sessions and share them. But I'm very excited here to be finishing the 54 song cycle leading up to Simchat Torah. This is a time of year where we've built little huts, Sukkot, outside of our homes. It's a time of joy. It's also a time of vulnerability. We're outside. We're not completely surrounded. We're not locked behind our doors. We're open to the elements, the wind and the rain. And it's also fall. Winter's around the corner. We are vulnerable. We don't know what's going to come. Obviously, we really don't know what's going to come. We're in this particular fall. But we're happy, we're joyous. There's something about being vulnerable that allows us to be joyous, and so that's a meditation I'll leave you with as we go into these next four songs at this particular time of year. So as I shared a little bit earlier, some of these final songs, they really get into kind of what the whole mission of Torah is. I think Moshe is summing up his mission, our mission as we carry forward these teachings. And so this one was just sort of irresistible from chapter 30, verse 3. Write down this song and teach it. It just spoke very closely to my project and what I'm trying to do with the musical Midrash. So here it is, chapter 30, verse 3. כתבו לכם את השירה הזאת ולמדה את בני ישראל שימה בפיהם למען תהיה לי השירה הזאת להם בבני ישראל שימה בפיהם למען תהיה לי השירה הזאת להם בבני ישראל. Take a moment now and write this down, the words to this song, and teach the song to the people around, a song to know by heart, a song to know by heart, with words to help you live, a song to remind you how how good a life can be, a song to know by heart, with words to help you live, a song to remind you how good a life can be. השירה הזו להם בבני ישראל, a song to know by heart, with words to help you live, a song to remind you how good a life can be. We have two more songs to sing to conclude the book of Devarim. All the songs I've shared so far, the first 9, they've been very clearly in the voice of Moses teaching us, and that's really remarkable because in other places, most of the books of Torah, we hear Moses interpreting the word of the Holy One, but these are somehow a little more intimate. This is Moses talking to us, but something kind of interesting happens at the end, and maybe it's a little something about being at the end of life, or transcending somehow in some way that only Moses did. But the words somehow start to blend, and they come from a place almost beyond the frame of Moses, the man. They come from the holy. And to interpret that, they sometimes come across, if you're reading them, as almost intense and overwhelming, and sometimes even scary. But I interpret them as I understood from elsewhere in our reading, that we connect with the divine through a still small voice. So this is my bringing to these very powerful, profound words a still small voice. And so the song is sung very quietly. So this is Hazinu, and chapter 32, verses 39-40. Rehu ata ki ani hu, Rehu ata ki ani hu, ve'en Elohim imadi, ani amit va'achaye, machatzti ve'ani erpa, ve'en mihadi matzil. Ki esa el shamayim yadi, ki esa el shamayim Chai Anochi Leolam, Chai Anochi Leolam, Chai Anochi Leolam. Open your eyes and see I am one. Open your eyes and see I am one. And every part is one. The dying and living one. The wounding and the healing. There is no other one. I make this promise to you. I make this promise to you. In every breath you take, life eternal every day. Life eternal every day. Life eternal every day. I feel like either of those last two songs could have been the final song. But we have this last bit, the Zot HaBracha. We only read it at Simchat Torah. That we don't read on Shabbat. We do sometimes read it during the week leading up to Simchat Torah. And it's the last song, I said the words seem to come from a little beyond Moses. He merges with the holy. And in these final words, he also seems to merge with us, with the generations, and it seems to come from beyond his lifetime. We refer to Moses in the third person, and yet it's still coming from him too. So it's something that happens sometimes in Torah. You don't know where the words are coming from, and maybe that's part of the point. But the central verse is one that is very familiar. It's sung at Simchat Torah all the time, and I've always kind of had an itch to rewrite the melody anyway, just because I like to do that sort of thing. So chapter 33, verses 3 through 5, it's the central verse that is the main one, Torah Tziva Lanu Moshe, and we kind of go out with a rousing finish. You've heard the wide range of styles, everything from the pop power ballad to the sort of meditative spiritual, and so here we go with Torah Tziva Lanu Moshe. It's all of these emotions, all these ways of connecting are all part of who we are, and that's part of what I try to bring out in the music.
בידיך, והם תפלו לרגליך, יישא מדברותיך, תורה ציווה לנו משה מורשה, קהילת יעקב תורה ציווה לנו משה מורשה, קהילת יעקב. Beloved people, love with all of your might, and walk the ways of justice. Take these words to guide you, Torah. As we live it today, it is ours to find the way, Torah. As we learn it today, it is ours to light our way. And we can live together in peace. For this is our promise, flowing on forever. Torah, as we live it today, it is ours to find the way. Torah, as we learn it today, it is ours to light our way. Torah. ואבנים, כל קדושה בידיך, והם תפלו לרגליך, יישא מדברותיך, תורה ציווה לנו משה מורשה, קהילת יעקב תורה ציווה לנו משה מורשה, קהילת יעקב תורה. As we live it today, it is ours to find a way, Torah. As we learn it today, it is ours to light our way, Torah.
Thank you so much for listening to these songs. I hope you've enjoyed them. I hope they've made a difference for how you hear the words and how you might carry them with you. They've certainly made a big difference for me, and I look forward to sharing them as we continue our way through the year. I'm sort of celebrating at the moment because sharing all of these songs has been a huge part of the project, to let people listen to them, to hear what people say back. So please go to musicalmidrash.com. You can send me a message. You can sign up to receive songs on a weekly basis, and just let me know what you think. I'm always happy to hear and connect with people. That's how we learn. That's how we thrive, and how we continue to work through good times and bad. And so I want to say thank you to everyone for listening. Thank you to all the people who've taught me, and look forward to sharing more songs with you in the future. Shana Tova.